Formula One isn't just about speed, it's about strategy. In a sport where milliseconds decide millions, the smartest drivers win the race before they hit the throttle. Today, we're diving into the genius moves, split-second decisions, psychological bluffs, and strategic masterstrokes that turned good racers into legends. Carlos Sainz's high IQ buffer move, 2023 Singapore Grand Prix. When it comes to racecraft, it's not always about raw pace, it's about managing the field like a chessboard. And at Singapore in 2023, Carlos Sainz played it like a grandmaster. Late in the race, with a safety car reshuffling the pack, Sainz restarted from P1, but had both Hamilton and Perez charging behind him. Ferrari gave him the green light, but Sainz knew what was coming. He didn't panic, he didn't just defend, he controlled. Instead of sprinting off and leaving his teammate Charles Leclerc vulnerable, or dragging Hamilton into DRS range, he pulled off a high IQ move. He used Lando Norris as a DRS buffer. By managing his pace just right, Sainz ensured Norris stayed within DRS range of Hamilton. That meant Hamilton couldn't use his top speed advantage. The gap was neutralised. Norris played the block, whether he knew it or not, and Sainz stayed untouched. This wasn't luck, this was calculated. He saw the field, predicted the pressure points, and manipulated the gaps like a strategist in overalls. The move wasn't flashy, it didn't need to be. It was pure control. Sainz didn't just win that day, he outthought the grid. Safety car intelligence, Lewis Hamilton's pit timing masterclass. Silverstone, the world's locked down, the grandstands are empty. But inside that Mercedes cockpit, Lewis Hamilton is reading the race like a Wall Street analyst on a caffeine drip. It's lap 13. Kevin Magnussen crashes out of the final corner. Safety car deployed. Chaos. Delta time scramble. The field compresses. Every driver hits the radio asking what to do. Most teams hesitate. Should they pit now or wait? Hamilton doesn't flinch. While everyone else is still calculating, Lewis is already pulling into the pit lane. No delay, no uncertainty. It's not a reaction, it's a prediction. He read the unfolding scenario before it unfolded. Track position, pit delta under yellow, tyre life. He had it all factored in. The stop is clean, fast. And by the time everyone else comes in a lap later, he's already back out, cruising in clear air with the net lead in his pocket. That's not luck, that's high-level situational control. Hamilton didn't just gain time, he avoided losing it. That's the real genius. He used the safety car to build a buffer, not recover from a mistake. He beat the field by thinking a lap ahead and moving before anyone else had even made a decision. This is what pit timing IQ looks like. When the track slows down, the smart drivers speed up in their minds. And in this case, Hamilton outdrove everyone from the pit wall. Strategic overtakes. Max Verstappen's bait and switch. Spa. Max Verstappen starts P14 after engine penalties. But that just makes what follows even more brutal. He's not just carving through the field, he's dissecting it, one move at a time. Enter lap 18. The car in front? Charles Leclerc. Same generation, same fire. But Verstappen's already logged the pattern. He's watched Leclerc defend tight on the inside all race long. So what does Max do? He sets him up. He nudges right, gives a slight twitch, feinting toward the inside line into Les Combes. Leclerc bites. He shifts over to defend. And that's when Max flips the play. He backs out, opens the wheel and swings wide, momentum intact. No dirty line. He brakes later, cleaner, and hangs it around the outside. Textbook? Sure, but only on paper. In real time, it's a split-second mental heist. This wasn't instinct, it was data-backed deception. Verstappen created a false opening, made his rival commit to the wrong threat, then punished him with precision. That's the bait and switch. It's psychological, it's subtle, and it works because Verstappen doesn't just attack gaps, he manufactures them. This is high-speed misdirection at 300 km/h. And Max, he's not just passing people, He's outthinking them corner by corner. Brilliant defensive drives. Fernando Alonso's wedge maneuver, Kungaroring. It's lap 63 out of 70 and the Alpine is under siege. Lewis Hamilton, on fresh mediums, is flying. He's just cleared the midfield and now has his sights set on the front runners. Esteban Ocon in P1 and a slower but defiant Fernando Alonso in P4. But Alonso's not just defending a position, he's defending a victory. Because if he can hold up Hamilton, Ocon has a shot at his first ever Formula One win. So what does Alonso do? He doesn't go full block, he doesn't weave, he plays the geometry. Every time Hamilton lunges into a braking zone, turn 1, turn 2, turn 4, Alonso edges off the racing line, just enough to crowd Hamilton's entry. He never slams the door, he just leaves it barely open and then wedges his car into the exact space Hamilton needs to complete the move. It's not dirty, it's not reckless, it's calculated disruption. By the time Hamilton's committed, the grip's gone, the exit's compromised, and Alonso's already rotated and pulling away again. This is what you call the wedge maneuver, where defense isn't about reacting, it's about shaping the corner into a trap. It forces the attacker to burn tyres, lose rhythm, and question everything. For 11 laps, Alonso kept the fastest car on the grid stuck behind him, not by outpacing it, but by outthinking it, and it worked. Hamilton never made it to the front. Ocon won the race, and Alonso, he walked away having played the most valuable support role of the season, without ever touching the car in front or behind. This wasn't brute force defending, it was pure psychological warfare, executed at 180 miles an hour. Ayrton Senna's high IQ championship play, 1990 Japanese Grand Prix. The 1990 Japanese Grand Prix wasn't just another race. It was the race where Ayrton Senna rewrote the rules of tactical warfare in Formula One. After the controversial events of 1989, where Senna had been disqualified and the title handed to Alain Prost under highly disputed circumstances, the stage was set for a fierce rematch. The setting, Suzuka. Again. Only this time, Prost had switched teams, now driving for Ferrari, while Senna remained at McLaren, still chasing redemption. Senna secured pole position, but the FIA, led by Jean-Marie Balestre, the same official Senna blamed for the previous year's disqualification, ordered that pole be placed on the dirty side of the grid. This was significant. The clean side offered more traction. By putting Senna on the less favourable side, the odds were stacked against him from the very first metre. Senna pleaded for a change. He argued the placement was unfair and influenced by politics. His request was denied. That moment didn't just frustrate Senna, it flipped a switch. He knew what had happened in 1989. He knew what would happen if Prost got ahead again, so he made a decision. If Prost beat him off the line, he wouldn't back out. He would send a message, one that couldn't be ignored. Race day. The lights went out. As predicted, Prost got the better launch. Senna followed, flat out. No hesitation. As they reached the first corner, Senna kept his foot in it. He didn't yield. He collided with Prost at high speed. Both cars went off track and out of the race. But here's the twist. Senna had already accumulated enough points to win the World Championship. By taking out the only man who could mathematically beat him, Senna ensured the title was his. Critics called it dangerous. Fans called it madness. But when you strip away the emotion, what remains is cold, tactical brilliance. Senna made a decision days before the race. He evaluated the scenario, weighed the risks, and knew the consequences. He wasn't acting out of spite. He was executing a high-level strategic plan. It was his way of regaining control over a system he felt had failed him the year before. He turned the weapon used against him, the rules, into his own armour. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment move. It was a layered, calculated chess play on a tarmac board, carried out with ice-cold clarity. Senna didn't win that race, but he won the championship, and in doing so, He sent a message not just to Prost, but to the FIA, the media, and the entire motorsport world. He was not to be manipulated. He would play the game, but he'd play it on his terms. Psychological warfare. Lando Norris's braking feint. Sometimes winning a battle isn't about outpacing your opponent, it's about outthinking them. Lando Norris found himself wheel to wheel with a rival in a braking zone. Instead of committing, he gave a subtle signal, lifting just slightly, positioning his car to suggest he was about to brake. The rival bit. He braked early, trying to hold the corner. Norris, reading the move, delayed his own braking, carried more speed, and overtook smoothly on the outside. It was a psychological bluff, and it worked perfectly. This is decoy braking. It disrupts rhythm, it creates hesitation, and in the hands of a sharp mind, it becomes a surgical strike. If you enjoyed this breakdown of Formula One's smartest moments, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more race intelligence insights, and hit the bell so you never miss a moment of motorsport brilliance. Have a favourite high IQ move we missed? Drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear your pick for the brainiest move in F1 history. Because in this sport, it's not just about how fast you go, it's about how smart you drive.